Hello, let's do one up. Puzzle 370. It's a 7x7 today, and it is Tuesday, so it is Tutorial Tuesday. So in this one, I will go over the rules carefully, and I will explain all the logic I'm doing with care from start to end for people who are newer and want to learn how to play. All right, I'm going to hit play, and I will explain the rules. So the way this game works is we have these bold borders between some cells. What these do is they split up rows and columns into segments. So let's just take this one, this simple one here. This row here is split into two segments by this bold border. So we have a segment to the left of it and a segment to the right of it. The segment to the left is 4 long, so we need the digits 1 to 4 once each. The segment to the right is 3 long, so we need the digits 1 to 3 once each. So it's called 1 up. And so in general, a segment of length n needs the digits 1 through n once each. And so, for example, this column here has no bold borders, so it's a column of length 7. That's a segment of length 7. And so we need 1 through 7 once each in it. This little black square here, you think of it as not being part of the puzzle, or just 4 borders around it with a 1 in it, if you prefer. But yeah, it's actually being represented as a 0 in this puzzle because he likes to put the puzzle number in there. So this is 370 or 370. But actually there is no 0 and 1 up. So really it's a 1 that's surrounded by 4 borders. So this is 2 in length and this is 4 in length. All right. Those are the rules. I'm going to get started, and I can see we have some gimmies here, really easy gimmies, because this is a 1-length segment vertically. A 1-length segment only needs the digit 1, so we can immediately place the 1 there. And then another little tip is that for every segment length we have vertically, we have the same exact segment length somewhere horizontally. They're 1 to 1. And if you think, I'll leave it up to you to think about why that must be the case. It is 100% true in all 1-up puzzles, no matter what. It's a property of the puzzles. And so we can look for a horizontal 1, and we see we have one here. And so now I want to see if what I like to do next is I like to look at the really, really short segments. I'd say 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 in length, kind of stopping there. And often they'll have just like gimme digits. And so there's 2 ways to find singles within them, and I'll talk about both ways once I encounter them. So I'm going to just scan horizontally. So, okay. So this one's 2 in length. So we need to place a 2 in it. And this cannot be a 2 because the 2 C's here. And so this is the only place to put 2. And then whenever you're down to just 1 digit left to place in a segment, you can just place it. And there's only 1 left, so you can place it. So that's what's called a hidden single, because we needed a 2 and there's only 1 place for it. And so we could place the 2 and then the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 is needed in this horizontal. I'll do the verticals after I scan the horizontals. I'm not seeing anything special there. Here we need 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm noticing neither of these can be 2, but either of these could be. This can't be 2 or 3, so it's down to 1, 4 only. We're not actually seeing anything to place yet. Here we need 1, 2, and 3. This can't be 1, this can't be 3, but that's not enough. Here we need 1 through 4. Again, not enough as far as I can tell. Here we need 1 and 2. All right, how about vertically? We need 1 and 4 here. We need 1, 2, and 3 here. We need 1 and 2 here. Yes, so this one here. So let's talk about the other way. There's another way we could have resolved this, which is this cell here is what's called a naked single. Because if you look at it, what digits can it be? Well, it can't be a 1 because we're not allowed to repeat the 1 in our horizontal segment. Even though we're looking at the vertical, we can't repeat in the horizontal. So it can't be a 1. It could be a 2. And it can't be 3 or higher because we're in a vertical segment that's only 2 long. So if it can't be a 1 and it can't be 3 or higher, it must be a 2. So we can place a 2 there. That's called a naked single. Now we can finish the column with a 1. But you can also see we could have just said, there's only 1 place for 1, place the 1 there, and then finish with a 2. You get the same result. This 1, we can follow up on it. It looks all the way to the right and tells us that this is 2 and 1. But also it looks left, telling us that this is 4 and this is 1, right? Because this could only be a 4, and now 1 could be placed. Or there was only 1 place for 1, and now we can place the 4. Hopefully that's clear. The 2 ways you can look at that. Both are useful techniques to know, but sometimes they overlap and both tell you the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to keep scanning our verticals. We need 1 through 4 here. And then here we need 1 through 4. So there's only 1 or 2. 1, 2, or 3. Okay. So I think those are our gimmies. Now what I like to do is I like to look at all of the segments, and we're going to look for specific things in them. So first of all, if we have a lot of digits placed, it doesn't hurt to just think about what's left. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5. So we need 4, 6, 7 in some order. And you just look to see if there's any kind of specific restriction on those digits. There isn't here. Here we have 3 left as well. We have 1, 2. So we need 3, 5, and 6. We can see that this cell cannot be 3 or 5. So this is a nice naked single here, because it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7, leaving only 6 available. And so now that leaves 3 and 5 here that we can't resolve. Following up on the 6 could be useful, but I'm not seeing an immediate thing to follow up there. This segment needs 2, 3, 4. Can't quite do anything with that. Here we need 2, 3, 4. Here we need 1, 2, 3. Okay, this long segment, it doesn't have very many placed in it. So what I like to look for is per cell, what is kind of the maximum value we can put? And pay attention to what low values we already know about. We're looking for lows. So this maxes at 3. Normally I wouldn't pencil this, but just to show you what's going on in my head, I will pencil this here. And I'm just penciling what the biggest digit that can go in that cell is. So this is maximum 3. This is maximum 4. This is maximum 7. This is maximum 7. This is maximum 7. And this is maximum 4. So what can we learn from that? Well, we have 3 cells here that we can say must be 4 or lower. This is also 4 or lower, right? It's 3 or lower, which also means it's 4 or lower, right? We're adding a digit we don't need to add, but it helps clean up our thinking. So we have 3 cells here that are 4 or lower, and the 2 is gone. So how many digits are left that are 4 or lower? And the answer is just the 1, 3, and 4. So if we need to be able to fill all 3 of these cells with a distinct digit. There are only 3 distinct digits left. Therefore, these will use up the 1, 3, and 4, meaning these 3 cannot be 1, 3, or 4. What does that leave? 5, 6, 7. This cell here is not allowed to be 5, 6. So it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 because of these 4 cells. And it can't be 5, 6 because of these 2, leaving only 7. So now actually these are maximum 6 if we want to update that. Normally I'd be just keeping that in my head, right? So now these are 5, 6. Now this is something that I could try to keep in my head. And in some cases I would, especially in smaller puzzles, just to make it more fun for me. If you don't find that fun, then don't do it. But if you find it fun, then sure, try to keep it in your head. But what I'm marking here is the most important deduction, which is that these cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're left only as 5, 6. And so that might come in handy later. Now I could mark the 1, 3, 4s over here, but that's just naturally what they end up being just by looking at what's available. So I don't need to mark that. Here we need 1 through 4. I'm not seeing anything with that. Here we need 1 and 2. And here we can do the same thing. So this is max 3. This is max 6. There's a 7 in the column already. This is max 4. This is max 7. This is max 7. This is occupied. And this is max 4. So we have exactly the same. In fact, because there's a 3 in the row, this is actually max 2, in case you want to update that. But really what we've got is we've got 3 cells again that need to be 4 or less, and the 3 is gone. So these are going to end up being 1, 2, and 4. And if there are 1, 2, and 4, then that leaves just 5, 6, 7 for these cells. So I can say this is only 5, 6, this is 5, 6, 7, and this is 5, 6, 7. The important deduction is that they are not 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so we've almost maybe created triples here, but we'll look at the verticals now. We finished the horizontals. So verticals, we need 1, 2, and 3 here, just make sure nothing got updated. Here we have enough place that we can just think about the digits. We need a 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 3, 4. Okay, so this is max 4, and this is max 4, right? So just using our trick from before, these end up being 3 or 4 only. That uses up the 3 and the 4, because 1 and 2 are gone. And so that means that leaves behind, in these 2 cells, the 5 and the 6, and this can't be the 5. So this has to be the 6, and this is the 5. We can remove these. These are 3, 4. And so now what's left here? We have 1, 2, 3. We need 4 and 6 in these 2. Okay, I've got a nice trick here for you. I'm gonna write this out, this 4, 6 here, just so I can show you this neat trick, which usually isn't needed, but if you see it, why not use it, right? So what I'm seeing here is what Sudoku would call an X-wing. You can call it whatever you like. But the idea is, in this row here, we need a 6, and the 6 is in one of these 2 cells. In this row here, we need a 6, and it's in one of these 2 cells. So the idea is that if 6 is in one of these 2, and 6 is one of these 2, and we can't repeat a 6 in the columns, then that's all the 6s we get for these 2 columns, right? The row is telling me we need a 6 in one of these 2. The row is telling me I need a 6 in one of these 2. But these 2 columns are telling me, well, then that's all of my 6s. I'm going to need a 6 here and here. Oh, sorry, did I? It's not 4, 6, it's 4, 7. Well, we can still actually do this. Did this end up a 4? Should this have been a... This should have been a 5. I think I typoed something. Anyway, we've got the same thing, but on 7s. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. In my tutorials, I try really hard not to make mistakes, but I made a typo here, I guess, as 4. I almost feel like I should start over, but I can't really start these puzzles over. Anyway, I really apologize for confusing you there. I typed the wrong digits. I typed the wrong digits in here. It's really hard to pay attention to doing things correctly and explaining things in depth at the same time. It's a skill that I'm still developing, even though I've been doing it for years. Anyway, so let's start over. This row definitely needs 4 and 7. This is definitely a 5 because we had the 3 and 4 here. So this had to be the 5. That removed 5 as an option from these two. So we know in this row, sorry, let's just start here. In this row, we do need a 7. And the 7's going to end up here or here. We do not have a 7 yet. It's going to end in one of these two. In this row, we do not have a 7 yet. Can't go here, here, or here. So the 7's going to end up in one of these two. So this row is saying, hey, I need a 7. And this row is saying, hey, I need a 7. And so we end up saying, well, the 7's going to either end up here and here, or the 7 is going to end up here and here. But either way, that uses up all the 7s for the column. Now, I don't know that that actually does anything because none of these could already be 7, but I figured I was already explaining the X-Wing. So that's really unfortunate. I just wasted a bunch of your time. But it's not really a waste because you can end up getting eliminations. The idea is we can't put any more 7s in these columns. We couldn't anyway, but now we definitely can't for another reason. So I'm sorry for taking all that time. But I thought it was on 6s, which would have actually done something, but it was not on 6s, so I apologize. Let's just look at this row now. It has 1, 2. We need 3 and 5. That is an X-Wing on 5s. Does that help me? No, it doesn't. Okay. So let's not worry about that. Let's look at the verticals. Let's keep looking at the verticals. This column, so this is max 4, max 4, max. So just to show that this doesn't help, this is max 4, this is max 4, and this is max 4. That's 3 cells that need to be 4 or less. Unfortunately, there are 4 digits that are 4 or less. So this is going to use up 3 of them, but we don't know where that 4th one's going to end up. So we can't do anything about that right now. This column here, this is max 4, max 3. That is also not enough. Do we worry about where the 2 and the 3 go, though? No, this can be 3. Okay, I don't think there's anything there. Here we need 1, 2, and 4. I'm still thinking about how I made that mistake and wasted a bunch of time. I'm really sorry about that. 1, 2, and 4. So the 4, where does the 4 go in this column, right? This is the only one that can be 4. This is max 3, this is max 2. So if this is where the 4 goes, then these end up being the 1, 2. But we don't know what order they go in. Getting that 4 did reduce this to 2, 3 only. We do have an X-Wing on 3s. So let's try to do a useful thing here. Let me just show you how you would use this. So remember that this row is down to 3, 5. Just double checking so I don't want to make a mistake. This row is down to 2, 3. So that means this row needs a 3 in one of these two, and this segment here needs a 3 in one of these two. Importantly, these share column segments. So these columns have to give both of their 3s to this row and this row. They don't have any more 3s to give for here or here or here. So if you want to think about it this way, this row can resolve with a 3 here, which would force the 3 to be here in this segment. Or this row could resolve the 3 here, which would force the 3 to be here in this segment. Either way, we're going to have 2 3s looking down the rest of the segments. So this can't be a 3, so it's not 1, so it could be 2 or 4. This can't be a 3, and it can't be 1, so it actually must be 2. And that resolves the 3 and the 2 here, and that resolves the 5 and the 3 here. The 2 resolves the 4 here, which gives us the 7 and the 4. All I'm doing here is saying, okay, well, this can't be that digit anymore, so it's down to 1 digit, right? I have something here. This 5 says this can't be 5 anymore. Well, if it's not a 5, it must be a 6. We can just place the 6. Now this can't be 6, so it must be a 5. This can't be 6, so it must be a 7. Now this can't be 7, so it must be a 6. And this column has 1 digit left. It is the 1. Okay, this 2 tells us 2 can't go here, so this must be 3, and this is 2. This column finishes with a 4. Now I need 2 and 3 in this row. This 2 tells me the order. This is 3 and this is 2. This 3 looks over, telling us this is 1 and this is 3. We need a 1, 4 here. This 1 tells us this is 4 and this is 1. Okay, I need a 2 in this column. This can't be the 2, so that's 1 and that's 2. This row finishes with a 1. this row segment, sorry, finishes with 4. This row finishes with 3, and the entire puzzle finishes with a 2. All right. Don't know if that X-Wing on 3s was necessary, but it definitely gave us the kick that we needed to finish the puzzle. So anyway, I hope this was helpful despite the mistake and then weird tangents, but luckily I caught everything. And the weird tangent on X-Wing that happened twice that did nothing finally gave us an X-Wing that actually was useful on these 3s. And notice, I can't click, notice the 3s ended up in these 2 spots. They were either going to be in this diagonal or this diagonal, which you can see prevents the rest of the columns from being 3. Both of the columns. All right, cool. Well, I hope this was helpful and informative. Let me know how you did. If you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.